Hello, 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 everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Labor Day. I hope you had a wonderful long weekend. We'll get started right away here. Just want to check out who is in the live stream today. Happy Labor Day. I hope you had All right, all right, all right. Okay. Alrighty. So, if you are in the live stream here, just want to check in where you are tuning in from. So type in the chat where you tuning in from today. Which city, which country you are tuning in from. We're going to get started in the next 5 minutes. We'll just wait for a few folks to join, and then we'll get started right away. So just make sure you are live. You are watching this live. You tap on the live button. You are going to see the red button there that shows that you are live. And then also, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so that it's going to help us, so that you're going to get all notifications that comes on anytime I go live. You are going to get it as well. So please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure that you get all live YouTube streams. Okay. So we'll get started shortly here. So let's see where everybody's coming from. Put in chat where you're tuning in from today. So put in chat where you're tuning in from. Just going to type here. Where are you tuning in from today? Let's know. Type in your city, your country, where you're tuning in from, so that we know where you're from. All right, we'll get started right away here. We just get started shortly here. All right, so it's September 1st here. This is the Labor Day edition. We're going to get started right away here. I'll just share my screen and then we can get started, because I know a lot of folks have to go back tomorrow. So let's get this party started very fast. Alrighty, so let me share my screen and then we can get started. All right. All right. So we'll get started with the market update from last week. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the weekly strategy session. My name is Richard with Trading Rich. I'll be taking you through the game plan for my game plan for the week and how I plan to make money this week. And before we do that, I'll go through a few things, capturing what we did yesterday, like what happened in the market last week, and then we'll then move on to the catalyst for the week, and then what are the market moving news that is going to be moving the market in one direction or the other, right? So without much ado, I will just get started right away here. One sec, let me just get this rolling here. Make sure I have everything ready to go. All right. Okay. So yeah, so if you're tuning in here, make sure you tap the live button, the red button, to make sure that you are getting this live stream live. And also, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button so that anytime I go live, you'll be able to get the notification to join me live here. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Let's go through um what happened last week and where the market was and what transpired in the markets. First of all, I'll go to the SPY chart. I'll go to the SPY. That's the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. So I'll go through that right away. I'm going to remove these lines. And then we are going to take a look at it. All right. So let me take out the lines here. And then we have also the QQQ as well. The NASDAQ, that's the ETF for the NASDAQ. You're also going to check that one as well. All right. Okay. So last week we had an important earnings, which was Nvidia earnings, right? So the market has been anticipating to get earnings from Nvidia, and Nvidia earnings, anytime Nvidia has earnings, is a big deal because Nvidia has been carrying the market on its shoulders since January 2023, when ChatGPT was first released, and then the AI boom just started booming, right? And Nvidia was the main company that lifted and catapulted the market to all-time highs. So anytime Nvidia has earnings, the expectation is really, really high. Like, we're talking about lofty expectations, right? So everybody thinks Nvidia needs to perform, right? They need to produce very good earnings. However, what happened was that Nvidia earnings was great, it was good, but it wasn't as spectacular as the market was expecting. So the market was expecting something which was extraordinary to send Nvidia to new highs. However, when the Nvidia earnings came, what we realized was that they had missed on the data centers, which is a big deal because Nvidia is supposed to be the company that is leading the AI race, right? So if it starts missing earnings in certain sectors, although the other ones were good, were great, that is a problem. It means that, okay, what's happening here? Is it due to competition? Is it due to demand? What's going on? So that caused Nvidia to, it did not really rally, it just put in this candle here, like, so that day closed right. And then what happened was that the second day, which was, so Nvidia reported on, I believe it was a Wednesday. So this year is Friday, this Thursday. Okay. So Nvidia reported, and then the next day, what happened was we had Marvell. Marvell is also in the AI space as well. They also reported earnings and they missed as well. So this, and also Dell. Dell is into AI hardware and infrastructure, those kinds of things. Dell also missed earnings, right? Dell also sold off. So it became like there's some kind of a theme going on where all this AI, the AI play is faltering, right? And then to make matters worse, on Friday, Alibaba, the Amazon of China, announced that they have developed a new AI chip, which is going to rival that of NVIDIA, right? So NVIDIA AI chips are very expensive to manufacture, and NVIDIA has like a big market share, like 60%, 80%. So anytime you have a company that has a big market share like that and is dominating, somebody is going to compete with you at some point, right? Somebody will come for land. So those that have been in the market for a while, you guys remember early this year when DeepSeek had an announcement that they had developed an AI system where they didn't even need to use NVIDIA's chip, but they were able to do that at a very minimal cost, right? It turned out to be like not accurate news, but it caused NVIDIA to sell off by 50% during that time in January. So now that same fears was coming back into the market. And after the earnings and earnings of NVIDIA and earnings of NVIDIA's other companies in the same field, it caused that fear in the market, right? And in Wall Street, there's a saying that as the semiconductors go, so does the market, right? So if NVIDIA is selling off and the semiconductors are selling off, then you know that you are going to get a sell-off in the broader market, right? Because NVIDIA has been one of the main companies that has carried the market on its broad shoulders, right? So, and if NVIDIA is showing weakness, then it's going to affect the general market. Okay. So so all of a sudden we are seeing that okay, investors are looking at it, okay, it looks like Alibaba is looking to have said they are manufacturing a new chip. And Alibaba is not like DeepSeek or anything. Like Alibaba is a reputable company, right? So is a force to reckon with. So if Alibaba is saying something like that, that means that this can be credible and it's not going to be a DeepSeek moment, right? So I believe that this has affected the market, and as a technical analysis trader, what I do is that I follow the trend, right? In technical analysis, there's something called follow the trend until the end, right? The reason why we have what is called trend lines is that because there's a trend. If the trend is broken, that means something has broken. Okay, so let's check out Nvidia, right? Um, what happened to Nvidia here? And so if you look at Nvidia closely, you are going to see that I'll put back my trend lines. Put back Nvidia here. So Nvidia, you're going to see that there's this line, this trend line here. This was an orange trend line, and this trend line has held since April, Liberation Day lows to where it was, right? And this trend line started cracking here, started cracking on August 19th, right? So that cracked, and then what happened? It pushed up again, went back to the area, right? The zone where the trend line was. And what did he do? He gave up and he sold off, right? So right now, NVIDIA is now at this trend line. There's a secondary trend line here, which is close to the 50 SMA that NVIDIA is on. If this is to break, if this trend line is to break, right, this week, and the 50 SMA is to break, right, then you are going to see NVIDIA selling out, going to sell off to 164, and then it could, if the sell-off is intense, and we are now in November, which is traditionally and historically a weak month for the market. Usually September are usually red months, right? So if that happens, that's going to be triggered by weakness in Nvidia, right? So if we get more news and more data coming out of China that Alibaba's chips is forced to reckon with, then that means that it's going to chip out some of the market share from Nvidia. So right now, there's a competition between the West, that's America, and China in the AI race, right? So if a company like Alibaba is posting something like that, then everybody's going to watch it, and you are going to see investors rotating and putting money into Chinese stocks. Okay. So I'm going to be watching this trend line closely. And once it breaks, can get to 164, and then from there, this can come all the way to 153, right? So that's maybe towards the end of the month if the market is weak. Okay, so let's go back to the SPY and look at what's happening here. So that's the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. But before then, let's look at what are the key economic data that we are looking for right now, right? And some of the things that can move the market. Okay. So on Friday, there was news that came out that the trade appeals court was challenging, saying that some of the Trump tariffs are illegal and are not lawful. So it's going to be something that is be contentious, and the market doesn't like uncertainty, right? And one of the reasons why the market sold off in April was because of tariffs. So if there's confusion about the tariffs, whether it's legal, whether it's illegal, or whatnot, does not bode well for the market. So I think that this is going to go to the Supreme Court. And then if it goes to the Supreme Court, I believe that the Supreme Court is going to rule in favor of the Trump administration, right? Because most of the guys in the Supreme Court are usually, most of them were appointed by the Trump administration, and then they usually um, judge cases in favor of the president. So if it goes to the Supreme Court, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a non-issue, and the Supreme Court is going to uphold it. That say, okay, the tariffs are legal. Okay, yeah. So that one, I think, eventually is going to play out and is going to favor the administration. For in terms of economic data, we got the PE inflation data that came out on Friday. So something interesting usually happens anytime there's this statutory holidays and we have economic data coming out. You realize that the economic data comes out in a favorable way, right? Like some favorability, something like that, right? So that when people meet their friends and family on the long weekend, you don't want to be talking about negative economic data, right? And the PCE numbers came in line with expectation. Everything, even jobless claims, everything came in line with expectation. So there wasn't any big deal there. So the market last week, the market sold off due to Nvidia earnings and also due to Alibaba releasing their chip that is going to rival and take some competition out of Nvidia. So that's the main reason. It has nothing to do with PC. PC inflation data was a non-event because it came in line with expectation. So this week, what is the economic data that can move the market? So we have on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. The market was closed today. Tuesday, which is tomorrow, we have the ISM manufacturing data. Yeah, that might move the market slightly at 10 o'clock. And then we have opening jobs. So this year is also going to be crucial. So this is the forecasted number, 7.4 million. If it comes in low, it might not be, the market might take it in a negative way and might cause it to sell slightly, right? And then you have the Fed beige book that gives us information about the state of the economy and Fed ideas and stuff, right? Then we have ADP employment data, which is also, this is going to move the market. And then we have the jobless claim. So these job claim numbers, right? This is one of the key things I'm watching to see if there are signs of cracks in the US economy. So if we get into 250,000 or more, then there's going to be something to worry about, right? And then there's the other one on Friday is unemployment numbers. So I think this is going to come in line. Shall see how it plays out, but this comes in is not a good number. It's also going to affect the market in a negative light. So we shall see how things work out as we go into the week here and as we start the month of September. Okay, so these are the catalysts. On the earnings fronts, what I'm looking at is that there are a number of stocks that I'm going to be looking at this week for earnings. One of them is Lululemon, right? Lululemon is going to be, we are going to look at the state of the retail market, right? So retail, as in, because Lululemon looks like is for active wear, gym wear, and stuff like that. And they are a little bit like luxury and stuff like that, right? So high end. So we are going to see how the consumer is performing when it comes to purchasing this, right? So if Lululemon comes and they miss earnings, That's not a good sign, right? It means that the consumer is not able to afford these things, and they are not seeing it as a luxury, right? And then we also have Broadcom. So Broadcom is a semiconductor company, and Broadcom is also in the AI space. So we shall see what happens with that. So if that one too comes and they miss earnings for one reason or the other, then that is not good for the market. That's going to affect the whole AI play. That means Nvidia missed out on something, Marvel missed out, and these guys also missed out, right? And we also have these are a long ways away. That's 21st. Yeah. So this is going to be this week. Broadcom, Lululemon, and then you have Salesforce and Zscaler. Zscaler is a cybersecurity company. And another one that I'm going to be watching closely from the retail space is going to be Dollar Tree, right? If Dollar Tree's earnings comes in and they say that they beat earnings expectation and the numbers are very great, it tells you that the economy it means that the economy looks like it's slowing down, right? Because when we enter into a recession or tough economic times, folks are going to be buying things from shops like Dollar Tree, because it's Dollar Tree is more or less your dollar store, right? It's just like different brands. Okay. So because they want to go get things that are affordable. Okay. So I'm going to be watching that closely to see how Dollar Tree performs, and that will give us a glimpse of what the consumer is going through in these times. Okay. All right. So yeah. So now that we have all this information now let's go to the charts, right? And also last week, one company that reported, which was also concerning and gives us some kind of hints about the current state of the US economy, is Affirm, right? So let's look at Affirm. Okay. So first of all, what does Affirm do? What does Affirm do? So is a Affirm is a buy now pay later service. So Walmart's Affirm is a client of Walmart, right? So Affirm, like they've partnered with Walmart to do buy now pay later. So for instance, you can go to Walmart, and if you want to buy something, you can buy from them and then pay later, right? So if you buy something from them, you can like pay later, maybe in 2 months time, 1 year time, that kind of thing. So you can go to Walmart, buy a shirt, and you say, okay, maybe the shirt is $20. You say, okay, I want to pay later, right? So if buy now pay later is service is beating earnings, you know, so it means that the economy is not in a good state, right? That means that we're seeing some kind of cracks in the economy, because if people have money, why would they do buy now pay later? That's the question you have to ask yourself, right? If you can afford to buy a laptop for $1,000, why are you doing buy now pay later, right? You're not going to do that. So it also Affirm earnings came and it was a massive beat. So that's why we saw this big rally here in Affirm. Okay. And I mean, I'll come to Affirm later in terms of a game plan on how we are going to trade and make money from this week. In later on in the live stream here. So um let's get started. Let's go to the charts. Let's go to SPY. Okay. Let's see what the SPY is doing right now and what I'm looking at from the SPY. So on the SPY, basically what I'm looking at is that the SPY is forming what is called a rising wedge. Okay. So I'm going to take off these lines here to make it easy to see what's going on there. It's forming this rising wedge. And this rising wedge is something that usually rising wedges break down to the downside. Okay. But we shall see how it plays out, right? If we shall see how this one plays out. Let me just take off these lines, and then we would we will see here. Okay. So here, this is a trend line that I'm looking at here. You see this? This is a trend line from May. May 2023, 2025. And then here, so it hits it once, two, three, four. Okay. So in technical analysis and in trend lines, this is what you need to know, right? If a trend line is hit 4 times, right? So here you have one, two, three, four, right? If you hit a trend line 4 times, you have a 50-50 chance of breaking it, right? But if the trend line, same trend line is hit the 5th time, you have a 60% chance of breaking it. Okay. Which is not bad. So it's not that overwhelming, right? But if this does it for the 6th time, then it's 70%. 7th time, that means 80, you are going to 90. So, and it's just like in anything, if you have a door and you're hammering at the door, right? The more you hammer at the door, at some point you are going to break it. So that is where the SPY is right now. And if you look at the top here, this is another trend line that we have here, the upper trend line. This is a longer time frame trend line. This is from 2023 to right now, and it's hitting here, right? So now it's two things that this needs to do. It's either needs to the upside or break to the side. Okay. So far we have traded above the 20 SMA on the daily here. We have not tested it yet. So I'm expecting that at some point this month, if the market is weak, we might get this to pull to the downside, right? And if you look at this looks like it's forming what looks like a head, right? It's your left shoulder. Okay. This is your right shoulder. So you're forming what looks like a head and shoulders pattern. Okay. So if this head and shoulders pattern is to break, usually if the head and shoulders pattern is to break, this area here is going, this trend line area is going to act as this neckline. So if it's to break, it's going to be the measured move is going to be from here. You put it on the neckline. That means that this has room to come all the way here, right? This has room to come all the way here to around 620. Okay. So that is if we break down. So we shall see how things work out this week. And we shall see if we are heading to the upside or we are heading to the downside. Let me check what the futures market is doing right now to see where we are at. So far, the futures market is red. We are down. Not by much. Like for the S&P futures is just 5 points. It's not much. Um, that's not a big deal, right? But if it continues to be red, that means that we are going to open up somewhere here tomorrow, and we shall see if it's going to hold or is going to continue breaking down. But just note, lesson for today is that the more price touches a trend line, the more vulnerable it is. Either it's going to break out. If it's a resistance, it's going to break out. If it's a support, it's going to break down. So this here is acting as a support. So it has hit it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The 5th time, number 5, is going to be 60% chance of breaking it, and we might get that break to the downside. Okay. So for this week, what I'm looking at is that from a big picture perspective, what I'm doing is I'm looking to see how price reacts with this resistance level, right? So I am personally building a short position for SPY. Like that's what I'm using my money to do. And basically what I'm looking at is that I'm looking to any pops to the upside to this area, I'm going to buy more, right? And once we get the flush to the downside, I'm going to start peeling off profit, right? Take profit here, take profit there. So if this is to sell, my ultimate target will be somewhere here at 630. Over here is a profit target. And then over here as well is going to be a profit target, right? Here, 620, because this is a critical level, right? This is a critical level here. So if this is to sell, who knows, we could come all the way to 620. But we shall see how that plays out. But for now, I'm seeing what looks like a head and shoulders pattern and also inside a rising wedge, right? Inside a rising wedge pattern. Okay. All right. So let's go to QQQ, right? So for QQQ, I'll check out QQQ chart here and I'll show you something interesting for QQQ. So QQQ here, QQQ. That's the ETF. Oh, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for QQQ. Nasdaq. I think it's this one. Let's see. Okay, beautiful. So this is what I'm looking for. So with QQ, I'm looking at this parallel channel, right? In the last live stream last week, I talked about this parallel channel here, right? This is a critical parallel channel. So here you see that it has hit it once, twice, three times, four times. It almost broke it. We couldn't break this the fifth time, right? So we came here and price goes above it. So what I'm going to be watching this week is that is price still going to hold this the the bottom of the other channel, which is going to act as support? Is price going to hold there, or is it going to break, right? If the bears take control, they are going to break this and bring this to this area and bring it to the red line here, over here, which is 559. Okay. And so that's what I'm watching. But however, if they're to hold this, we are going to push back up to the top of this trend line. So this trend line is going to be really critical moving forward this week, right? And then from a big picture perspective, I'm also looking at like from a big picture perspective, I'm also looking at this here. Let me see if I can find it uh for for QQQ or the Nasdaq. Looking for that QQQ. Nasdaq. So looking forward, the big picture idea. Let's look at this. Let's see if we can get this here. I'm not finding what I'm looking for. Anyway, that's fine. Okay. Let's look at so that's the QQQ. We've done the QQQ, right? So that's what I'm looking at. So the next, when it comes to this, so I'm going to look at, I'm going to be watching Nvidia, what Nvidia is doing, because Nvidia is the one that is going to hold the market. Okay. If Nvidia continues selling, then the market will be in trouble. Okay. So let's check out Nvidia here. We already did that already. So Nvidia, we're going to look at this trend line here. That's going to be on watch. If it breaks, then is going to cause the Nasdaq, the QQQ, to break its lower trend line and head down. Okay, so this like a line in the sun now. Nvidia has to find a way to hold this. If it fails to hold, then that's going to be big trouble, right? If it fails to hold, then it means that we are going to head down to the downside. Okay, all right. So other stocks that I'm looking at, other things that I'm looking at is I looked at gold, right? Gold. I looked at gold, and gold is rallying, is breaking, getting to new all-time highs, which typically is not a good sign for equities. When you have gold like breaking out like that, that means something strange is about to happen and we don't know what it is, right? So we shall see when that time comes. So I'll show you the chart of gold here and you see what I'm talking about. So let's go to gold futures and let's check this out. So over here, I have the chart of gold, right? Gold. This is the chart of gold here. And gold has been consolidating for some time now, and it hasn't really broken out yet. Like it started breaking out here, and it's almost like taking off. And you can see that gold is. So if you look at gold here, let's go to the monthly chart. Okay, let's go to the monthly chart of gold. So you can see that gold has been consolidating for in this area here 1, 2, 3, 4, including 5. It has been consolidating for 5 months. Okay. And finally, it started getting a breakout here this September. Okay. So anytime you have that kind of a breakout like this, right? Because this has been consolidating for a long time, the longer the consolidation, the bigger the move, right? So you see here, Gold broke out of this level, this 3525, and then it's gone. Right? It's breaking out now. Okay, so we need a confirmed breakout. So if we are to look at the move for gold, the measured move for gold, right? It's from here. Like if you look at this pattern here, this from here, from this area here, from here, we put measured move from here to here, where the breakout is going to head to, like at least in the interim. It's going to take us to 5,400. So gold is on is on a journey to do a big breakout. So from now to the end of the year, the thing is that gold is a slow mover, but from now to the end of the year, we can see gold rise. And typically when gold is strong, usually the market is weak. It's usually the opposite most of the time, right? And if investors are putting money in gold, then that means that there's something is off, right? Why would they put money in gold, which is a slow mover? Why don't they put them in tech stocks instead? It means that tech stocks are exhausted and something is brewing. Maybe we are getting into a recession or we are getting into a moment of financial crisis. Who knows, right? So that is something that we should note about for gold. And if we get this breakout, this thing here to go, then we are going to come to 5,400. Okay. All right. So gold is something I'm watching. Silver too is looking to a breakout as well, but I will not have that today. But gold is something that I'm going to be watching for the next couple of weeks. So how do you play gold? So if you're not a future trader, a way that you can play gold is to use the ETF, right? GLD. So you buy GLD, you can buy the call options and then capture that breakout. So over here in this chart, it looks really nice. It really looks really pretty. So this does not include what is happening right now because that's the futures that we saw. So we saw gold breakout. So tomorrow, once the equities market open and the ETF opens, you're going to see that this has broken out. So you see here, again, this is what I was saying about like resistance levels, right? Here you see that we touched it once, twice. This is an area. So support and resistance lines are an area or a zone. Okay, area. So I can count this included because this area here from here to here is an area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, right? See the fifth time, what were we doing? We are breaking out from it. Okay, so that is giving us 60% probability that it's going to break, and we are getting the breakout. We saw that in the futures, right? So this year, this can take us to this can take us to as high as I think from now to the end of the year, GLD can come to 345, right? From now to the end of the year. So you can get call options, but buy time on this because if you're buying call options on gold, you want to buy time on it because it's a slow mover, right? It can take a while to move. So you want to buy time on it and hold it and capitalize on this big move. Okay. All right. Okay. So now let's go to the individual stocks that I'm looking at this week to trade and how we plan to make money this week here. So one of the stocks that I'm going to be looking at is Apple. So Apple has an event on September 9th. I believe that's when they're going to unveil their new iPhone, I think iPhone 17 or something. So I believe that Apple could have a move from now to the time that they have that event. And also, if Nvidia is showing weakness, Apple can help lift up the market. Okay. So that's something that we can look at as well for Apple. So let's look at the technical chart for Apple and see how we can position ourselves to make money from this if Apple starts moving. So with Apple, I have these trend lines here. So here, this one got broken. We captured this move that was, I believe it was on a Friday. Yeah, there you go. We captured this move in the day trading room. On that day, we captured this move, we captured this breakout. So now we have broken out and then we came back down to this area. And this looks like we put in, so this looks like a cup and handle pattern, right? A cup and handle pattern, right? So I believe that price is going to break out from here if we're able to trade above this level. So around two, like above this trend line, we are going to push up to 235, and then this has room to come all the way to 247. So this week, I'm going to be watching Apple closely to see if price is able to break out of this. So I'm going to set an alert here. Set an alert here for this number. So if Apple comes here, let me know, and then I'm going to execute on this. So let's do 233.50, something like that, right? Whenever this gets there, let me know, and then you can, yeah. So again, if you don't want to be timing this, you can just swing trade it and buy time on it and allow it to play out, right? But also here as well, price can stall out here and then sell if the market is weak this week. Okay. Yeah. So Apple is one of my tickets for the week that I'm going to be watching. The next one is that on Friday, even though the market was weak, healthcare stocks were showing relative strength. So I'm going to be taking a look to see if that relative strength continues. And if the market continues to sell off, are these healthcare stocks going to hold? So it tells me that there's some kind of rotation going on. And one of them that is poised to move this week is UNH. UNH. So UNH, those that are in our mastermind group, I've been talking about this. We already locked in and loaded on this one. I mean, I alerted this trade. I alerted this trade here, over here, right? When UNH was here, 237. Since then, UNH has rallied significantly, and we are already here. Okay. This is just the beginning. This is not the end of the road yet. We still have lots of room for this to push, right? So this broke above the bull flag, right? So this is a flag. So anytime you have in technical, anytime you have a gap like this, you assume that it's filled, right? So you fill the gap. So this here is a flagpole, right? And then this is the flag, right? So this area here where this has been bouncing like that is the flag. So now we finally broke above that flag, and we are trading here with this candle from Friday. So I believe that we are going to get more upside on this week if the healthcare stocks continue to show strength. So here, this is going to be above 312. We can get this to come to 316 and then eventually push to 326, right? So this UNH has a lot of room to go. And then if you check the volume profile, if you go to UNH, let me go to UNH here. Let's do this quick. Check out UNH. UNH. This is showing something nice, right? So if you look at this, this looks awesome, right? So here we caught the move here at the bottom here. We've rode it all the way here to this area, and we are here now. So here you can see this is to implant. This is this segment, right? So anytime you have this this is a price gap, right? It forms an imbalance. So there's volume imbalance here, right? In price. So anytime you have a price imbalance like that and you're up here at the volume shelf, you expect that price is going to run very fast to fill this gap here, right? So we can get a big move, a big surge in price, whereby we can move to all the way here. By the way, this is the weekly chart. If you go to the daily, you can see it in a smaller time frame. So if price is able to gap up here and trade around 315, we can get UNH to push all the way. UNH has room to push all the way to 4 something, right? I mean, it's not going to happen today. It's going to happen in stages. So from here to here, at least, right? We can get it. If can fill this gap here, that's going to be a huge milestone. So one stock I'm watching this week is UNH for a big move to the upside and continue the upside push to recovery. So we shall see how that plays out. But the way this candle looks like a candle that is setting up for a breakout. So here, if you look at this candle here has got this action here, and I expect it to come at least to this area, 315. Then from there we get to 326. So yeah. and you see this big volume gap here fill. So this looks poised. This a beauty, right? This looks like a big breakout is coming. Okay. All right. So next one on my list is Alibaba. Baba, right? So before Alibaba, go KWeb. KWeb is the internet ETF for Chinese stocks, like KWeb. What is it saying here? KWeb. Oh, KWeb. KWeb. KWeb is the Chinese ETF. This one. So if you look at KWeb, I talked about this breakout some time back, and we've seen that happen finally here. We see KWeb breaking out, but KWeb is also at a critical point. Right, let's go to the weekly. So this is a weekly for KWeb. So KWeb here, we broke out of the trend line and we are here now. So KWeb is looking poised for an explosive move, right? If KWeb is able to break out above this 38 level, because it came here last time, we couldn't go, it sold off. And then now, so the third time lucky. And it has tested this area here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 times. So this is the sixth time. So number 6 is usually 70% chance that we are going to push up. So I believe that if KWeb breaks out, which I think he already said that Alibaba yesterday gapped up by 19% in Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So if that's the case, I expect that we are going to get a gap up in Chinese stocks tomorrow at pre-market, and that is what we are going to see that translate into KWeb as well. So if that's so, KWeb is still poised for a big breakout here. So you can trade this, you can buy a swing trade on it, and this has room to push to all the way here to 55. Okay, all right. So let's go to Baba. So another stock that I'm watching this week as well is Baba. Baba, my Baba. Okay. So those that are in our swing trading service, we've been hammering Baba left, right, center. Like Baba has been one of the most reliable swing trading stocks that we've had. And those in our community, like I started trading Baba. We started alerting Baba trades since October last year, right? So with Baba, let's go back and see. So every major move that Baba has done, we've captured those moves. Okay. So here, this was back in January or February, we caught this move here. So this big move here, this big move here in Baba, we captured this big move from wherever it was, February there, to this highs, right? We captured this move, this 68% move, right? And then in October 2024, in September 2024, same time, we also caught this move here. I highlighted, I flagged it one of Zoom calls, like Sunday weekly watch list meetings. And this one was also alerted and we caught this move. And now in the swing trading service, we also talked about this and we also caught this move here, right? Yeah. So this is something that I believe that Baba still has legs, right? Baba still has legs to move, right? Because I believe that the Chinese stocks haven't had their chat GPT or AI moment yet. Okay. So if this chip from Alibaba is credible and it can do the same things that the expensive Nvidia chips can do, then you know that investors are going to be pumping in money into Baba. Also, bear in mind that Apple has teamed up with Baba. They have some kind of deal with Baba to use their AI system or something like that. I think that was something that they rumored last year. I don't know whether they're still having that deal, but Baba could be the stock that catapults all Chinese stocks and gets them to rally. And it's going to bring attention to Chinese stocks very soon. So, as they say, make Chinese stocks great again, right? To use Donald Trump's party slogan, make Chinese stocks great again. So, Baba, don't be surprised to see Baba trading at. So, I believe that this move here for Baba I see Baba to come all the way to 180 very soon, right? With this big move here. And if you go to the weekly, you see what's happening there. So with Baba, what did Baba do? How come we got this big move? So the reason is that we have what looks like this here is a cap, technical analysis, chart patterns. This is a cap here. This is our handle, right? It pulled back like this, and then we got a breakout. So here, I expect Baba to continue pushing, and I expect to see Baba at around 180 in no time. Okay, so have Baba on your watch list for Chinese stocks, and then KWeb as well. KWeb is the ETF. You can have that as well. And one interesting thing is that when typically, not always, right? Typically, when the US stock market is selling, it's red, SPY is red, QQQ is red, and other US tech stocks are red. You typically see Chinese stocks rallying. So it tells me that Chinese stocks can act as a hedge on the market. So if the market is weak this week, don't be surprised to see Chinese stock rallying because the smart money are rotating, taking some of the money that they made on Nvidia and putting it on Baba because that is a low risk trade and they can make more with that move. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one. So the next ticker that I have here that I'm watching is Affirm. So Affirm is an interesting one. So I talked about it, buy now, pay later, right? Affirm. So with Affirm, what I'm looking at for Affirm is that Affirm got this big rally after earnings and then put in what is called, this is a topping tail candle, right? Topping tail candles, this candle here is very long. Let me take off the lines. So this candle here is longer than the body of the candle. That tells you that this is called selling pressure, meaning that there's some folks that are selling aggressively. So those guys are going to continue selling, most likely, right? So I see Affirm. I'm going to be targeting Affirm for a short to fill this gap here. See here? The gap that was created by earnings is going to come here. And then once it comes here, we are going to get a bounce and then it's going to try to push up again and come here and wipe this out and push up maybe to $100. And then with interest rate cuts coming in September 17th, from the time that it comes down here back to the scene of the crime kind of thing, it's going to push up and break up to get to $100. I mean, he got close. Did he get to $100? Yeah, it did. It did $100, like psychological number. And then they pushed it down. So let me put back the lines and let's see what we are looking at here. So Affirm, I'm looking to short Affirm this week to the downside to fill this gap. So my main aim is to get this gap filled at $80. That's it. So specific trade, in, out, make your money, walk away. That's it. I'm not planning to hold it for long, right? I'm just in for specific targets. Once that target is reached, I'm out, right? And then we can flip to the other side if it confirms to the long side. Okay. So that's Affirm. And I have a couple more tickets to go, and then we're gonna wrap up here. So let me just get this here. This is the gap fill. Yeah, it's a gap fill. Yeah. So Affirm targeting $80 so you can get the $85 puts or $80 puts, whichever one it is, so that we capture the move to the downside. And if the market is weak, this is going to be affected anyways. Okay. All right. So next on the line, next on the line that I'm going to be watching is I mean, there's something interesting for me. So here, going back to healthcare, Novo, I think Novo Nordic, they had some kind of news come out, some positive news about a new drug or something that is showing good effects. So I believe that Novo is going to do well. And then those in my community and stuff, I've been telling you guys about Novo, that Novo is due for some kind of a breakout. And when it came all the way here, I mentioned that this is a good one to buy. And we've so far seen Novo do its thing. Again, the thing about technical analysis is that, it it removes all sort of emotions and confusion and stuff, right? Who knew that Novo was making a new drug that is going to send it up and cause it to rally? Nobody knew, right? But here, the technicals was showing us something looking like an inverse head and shoulders, right? So this is your left shoulder, this is your right shoulder, this is your head, right? So this year, we can get a big candle tomorrow that pushes and fills this gap here, this place. That can take this to $64. And then once we crack through this area, because this is a channel. Look at this. This is a longer dated trend line. When did this happen here? Trying to get this 2024, right? All the way here. So if we break above it, then we are going to come here to the next gap for $70. So Novo has room, has legs, right? So Novo is a stock that I'm going to be watching this week. At least the $60 calls, $70 calls, depending on where that news gap up is going to take it to. We shall see what was going to happen. Sometimes it's just going to gap up above this trend line and off to the races is gone, right? So Novo is something that you guys have to watch, and then you do your research on the news that came out today and see how that can benefit this rally. Okay. All right. So next one that I have is that for some reason oil stocks are coming back to life. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's because of the meeting between China and Russia and and their members, right? Who are looking to rival the US because of the whole Trump tariffs and all these things, right? So we shall see how oil reacts. So let's go to some oil stocks that can do well this week, right? Exxon Mobil. Let's look at Exxon Mobil. So Exxon Mobil has an interesting chart, right? I like this kind of charts, right? Because this is like a ticking time bomb, a big breakout waiting to happen, right? So let's say I can consider this to be a inverse head and shoulders, right? So this is your head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then you have this move here. If we can break above 115, this has room to come to 118 and then on and on and on, 119 or 120. Then from there, this has room to come all the way here. So don't sleep on these oil stocks. Maybe something is brewing that we don't know. Maybe some kind of war or something. Who knows, right? But there's going to we can watch this as well if it triggers, right? And one stock that has been really good to us, usually anytime there's a war or something coming up, is Occidental. Occidental, right? We traded this when Israel was attacking Hamas initially. And then we also traded it when it was the US, Israel and Iran. All the times it printed bigly, right? So I'm just going to look at this, though this stock here, Oxy, so Occidental. So Occidental 2 is setting up here for some kind of a breakout. We connect this to this here, to this. I see a breakout here happening. Somewhere here, right? So somewhere here, if we break out of this trend line, this can go. This Occidental can go. So this is also an oil stock, and this can looks like there's some kind of breakout coming up. So similar to what we have in Exxon, Occidental is looking like something that is going to go, and we can watch it. We can set our lights on it and capitalize on the move. Okay. So over here we have this is $46. So if you trade above $46, this is going to squeeze and go and push up. Okay, it's going to push up, right? So let's see here. Put this together. Yeah, so above $48, we can get this to squeeze and come to somewhere here to the $55 mark, right? I remember this $55 mark very well. Yeah, so I'm going to put an alert here, set an alert here on my chart so that it can remind me anytime we get there. So when you get to 479998, I mean, then I'll execute on this. Okay. All right. So oil stock. So yeah. So apart from that, I think I've covered all the key stocks that we have here. There's also DraftKings. DraftKings is something that's it's like it's like a gambling. They do gambling, right? So now that sports betting and stuff. Now that we are getting into September, where we are going to get football, college football, we are going to get NFL, we are going to get hockey season, we are going to get basketball season. Something like DraftKings can do well, right? DraftKings can do well, right? DraftKings can do well. So let's see what DraftKings is doing. I've not checked this chart in a long time. So DraftKings, this is the weekly time frame. So right from here, I can see. Okay, let me see here. I can see something here like where we can get some kind of a breakout here, and then we can see how it works out. Let's extend it to this area. I think this is going to work better. Something like this, right? So here it's not a perfect trend line, but so here I see this breaking out here. DraftKings breaking out. If we can come somewhere, we are going to come somewhere here. And then there's also this level here, right? So above $50, this is going to come to 53, and then it can push to other areas where it can come to is this area where we have this triple top, right? So this has room to push. So DraftKings, this is your cap, right? This is your cap, this is your handle, and boom, this is going to take off. So based on what is going to happen, like in terms of catalysts or things that can help this to go, because once we get into the sports season and stuff, people are going to start betting, right, on games and things like that. So that's going to benefit DraftKings. So put DraftKings in your watch list. The breakout could start as early as this week. Who knows, right? It can start this week. So just have it on your radar, and then you can set an alert on your phone or your Yahoo Finance, and you can trade this accordingly. Let me set it here before I forget. Right. So here is the stuff here. Let me look at this. For this here, this is 50 what? This $50. Let me just $50. $50. If I get $50, let me know. And then I would execute on this. All right, $50, let me know. Okay. All right. So yeah, so these are the key stocks that I'm watching this week for big moves to either to the downside or upside, whichever one it is. I'm looking at these stocks. And so again, once again, if you want to trade live with me every day, like day trade, like futures, options, you know what to do. You have to go to our website. So I'll go to our website here. So our website here is tradingrich.com. So on Friday we smoked the SPY QQQ. Like I gave them the game plan. Futures traders made money, option traders make money. Like everybody was happy, right, on Friday. So and yeah, and this was trade plan that I gave a pre-market, and we all execute on it. So if you come to courses, we have the swing trading service. So a swing trading service as well. Members who made money this week. We had like we traded Tesla. We traded Tesla. Oh, I forgot to add Tesla. I'm going to go through that. So we traded Tesla. I told you guys that Tesla was going to move last week, and it did that move like after Friday. So we have been swinging Tesla from not last week, that 2 weeks ago, when Powell had that news. That's Jackson whole news. We bought it on that Friday, and we held Tesla throughout the week, and we made money on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and the other days, right? And then we took profit from there. Now Tesla is back down to the scene of the crime. I'll go through that with you guys. So here, this is our swing trading service. So if you want to like get my top trade tickets for the week and alerts or signals, this is where to come, right? So this is a very affordable service, $47 a month. It's like a no-brainer, right? And you get the top three tickets. And anytime I use my money to buy it, I let you know that hey, I bought it at this price. This is the price. This is my target that I'm looking at. This is my stop loss and all that good stuff, right? So when I profit as well, I let you know. So if you click on it, you see $47 a month. If you want the yearly package, you get 2 months off, 2 months free, and you pay 470. Okay. Yeah. And this is the service that has 30-day money back guarantee, right? If in 30 days you don't make money from any of the alerts, let us know. Show us that you've taken the alerts that was posted, sent to you by direct message, sent to you by text message. Let us know, and we would give you a full refund, right? And yeah, so far members are killing it, right? Some things that we had was Baba. We had Baba a couple of weeks ago. We've had one of these trades that we had Upstart did very well this week. We also capitalized on that. So many of them, right? Open, we capitalized on that one too. We like many stocks, right? Tesla, talked about Tesla as well, right? Yeah. So this for swing trade. And then for day trading, those that want to day trading, you can come here. If you want to day trade with me live every single day, then you come here. And then so typically what we do is that we trade the first hour, get it down with, and then we chow our moves for the day, capture a piece of the snap pie, and then we are done, right? So this is $97 USD per month, and then this is the yearly subscription. So whichever one you want, we have different options. Either you get the monthly or you can get the yearly as well. Okay. So this is really a great service for those that want to learn about day trading and sharpen their skills, right? So for instance, like on Friday we traded SPY. I'll show you something here on SPY. Traded SPY. Let me take off these circles on SPY. We traded SPY and QQQ short puts, which worked out really nicely. Where's this? Go to the weekly time frame. Yeah, I had these circles. Let me take them off. Let me take this off. Okay. So here was the trade. So I mean, I don't have the levels that we had on Friday of taking them off, but you get the message here. So over here, this was so we shorted SPY to the downside. Let me open this up. So over here, we shorted SPY to the downside. So the game plan was that at the open, waited for the first 5 minutes candle to close. We saw where it was, waited for a second candle. So once this candle confirmed, later I told members. So in the trade plan, I already told members what to do at pre-market. So what we were waiting for was if we break pre-market low, um, go short, lean short, and stay short. Simple, as simple as that, right? Futures traders banked on this. Option traders banked on this. Same idea with QQQ. QQQ was actually weaker than SPY. So I even told members to focus on QQQ and just use SPY as a guide. So QQQ right out of the gates, so this one I've not taken off the lines. Right out of the gates, QQQ was showing weakness, and we were able to capitalize on the move to the downside. So here, this one was even clear cut, like at the open. When the first 5 minutes candle open, it opened below the moving averages, which was showed us that okay, this is pretty straightforward. And we got a confirmation when this broke below the pre-market low, and then we went all the way down. So this one also we captured this move to the downside. So yeah, so if you want to trade with us on a daily basis, whereby you want to pull money from the market on a daily basis, this is the service for you. You sign up for the day trading service. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the links here, the chat, to make it easy for individuals that are interested in the day trading service. And free to post your questions. Like feel free to post your questions in the chat. Don't be shy. So any questions you have, please post the questions there. So we are pretty much done here with the live stream. So before you leave, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you've not subscribed, the notification button, and also if you like what you've heard today in terms of the live stream, put it there, like hit the like button as well. Okay. I'll review the Tesla charts very soon. Just one sec. Let me just put this here. So here we have it's for day trading service, and then the other one is the this other one is the um and then there is the swing trading service. So if you're interested in that, you know what to do. And the members of the swing trading service I've already posted my video and then the game plan for the week. And those tests I typically don't share it here in the live stream. So if you want those stickers in the game plan, you want to sign up and get it. Okay. All right. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Like don't feel shy. Please post your questions here so that we can help you out with the questions. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Guys have any questions? Please put the questions here so that I see what questions you have. Yeah, so Sam said for Baba all-time highs was in 2020. Yeah, 2020. Yeah, everything was going to be 2020. I think since 2020 it's been, like Chinese stocks have not been getting any kind of love from the traders in the US market, right? They've been battering all these American Chinese stocks. So I believe that with this Baba chip, if it's credible, the thing is that sometimes some of these claims from China can be dubious, right? Like what we saw in DeepSeek, right? DeepSeek said they produced something like a chat GPT for 6 million. I'm like, okay, chat GPT, they spent billions of dollars. You claim you did yours for 6 million, which doesn't add up, right? So if this is credible and it shows that the chip was manufactured at a cheaper cost. You know that labor in China is cheaper. So a cheaper cost. And if this can rival what is there with NVIDIA, and you know that is the Chinese stock and get their chat GPT moment or AI moment and then rally and move up. And that's going to help Baba, right? So what was the chance of a gap fill to nearer that point again, even if with a chip? I mean, like, price always, like anytime there's a breakout, there's always some kind of break and retest. If we go to Baba chart here, there's always that kind of break back to the scene of the crime, right? So what people do is that, like, the thing with the Chinese stocks is that they are prone to gap ups and gap downs. Okay. So the swing trading service, anytime I let Baba, we buy enough time on it, or any Chinese stock, because you don't want to be caught in the wrong side, right? Caught in the wrong side where there is some kind of mystic gap down and you are long, right? And you don't have time on it. So buying time on this kind of case allows you to sit and relax, right? And so let's look at this. So right here we have there's the daily chart, daily time frame. So yeah, so definitely it can come back and fill this gap here at some point. I don't know when, but if you look at Baba chart, Baba has a lot of gaps. Like it's very, very like so any newbie who is learning how to trade, if you want to learn about gaps, you should use Baba as an example, right? Look at gap all over the place, right? It gaps up, gaps down, gaps up, gaps down, right? So I believe that now with this kind of move, maybe we can get the move that we got in February here. This one I alerted this year in our swing trading in the community. We bought the somewhere here. We alerted it was somewhere here. This one. $90 cost. And this thing went all the way to what? 145. So I believe that give or take, this move here can get us across this line and take us to 150. Because the last time, yeah, they were saying that Baba was unveiling some AI something, and now they have their AI chip here. So if this is credible and it's good, you are going to see more fans coming in and pushing stuff. Okay. Yeah. So any other questions? Only said JD. Okay. So JD is one of the stocks that have been really the Chinese stock that has really like it's not been participating in the rally, but I think that is going to do well. So there's something in particular that I've watched on JD. JD is like JD is like so JD, look at this. Let me take off the lines to show you guys something. So when I analyze these things, I look at pattern recognition, right? To see where this, so here with JD, if you look at this red line, so this red line is the 50 SMA on daily, right? So you see that price has come there several times and rejected. So let's count. Let's do counting. One. So here, one, two. It came here. So it came here. So two, right? Three, four, five, six. We gap up here. It was a failed breakout. Seven, right? Eight, nine. Okay. So this thing have been struggling here to make this. So finally, we might get that kind of breakout this week. We never know. We can get a breakout here to this area here, but it has struggled here. So in order for us to get a confirmed breakout is going to be we need a green candle or whichever candle break above this level, and then continue from there, and preferably get above this 100 SMA. So JD, I think this week JD should be trading around maybe here, $32, $35, something, maybe give or take somewhere here. Let me look at the lines. So yeah, give or take 32 here. And then if we can come here, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome for this store because it's been struggling, right? It's been struggling. But it's held this, there's a trend line here that I have. It's held this trend line. There's a trend line here. Oops. Held this trend line here to the downside. Let me go to the daily. Let's go to this here. Yeah. So you see that there's this trend line here, this downsloping trend line. It held this trend line and it bounced there. So we shall see if it can continue. So JD can also be a good one, but it hasn't really participated in the rally compared to Baba and Co, right? So we shall see how that works out. All right. Any other questions? I'll go through Tesla quickly here. Wow, I'm at for some reason I forgot about Tesla. I don't know why. So here, so Tesla, the trade is still valid. Trade on Tesla is still valid. It's just natural movement stocks, and the market was weak, so it's difficult for a stock like Tesla to move like that if the market is weak. So here we have this wedge pattern. See this wedge pattern here that I have in my chart. So what happened is that, so again, in the swing trading service, we caught this move. You see here, 1, 2, 3 to this area. We caught this move already, right? And now what Tesla is doing is that Tesla is doing what is technical analysis 101. So we got a break of this trend line, right? This trend line from the highs, that's for after Trump election. Yeah. The highs of the cycle here, which was this December 18, 2024. Tesla closed at around 500-ish. So now we broke below that trend. We broke above that trend line with this rally here. This was the Jackson Hole. And then here we have this here, this pushed up, right? After that. So again, this was a clearing bullish engulfing candle. I told you guys that we have a 90% follow through rate in last week's live stream. And then what happened? We had 1-2. So more than enough took money, right? So you got the follow through. That was the 90% follow through rate. Now, this was what is called this is a break of the trend line and came back. So this is what I call retrace to the scene of the crime. Right. So the crime was to break of this trend line, and the retrace is here. So that is natural movement of stocks. Anytime you have a break of a trend line, it comes back to retest is to prove strength. Like if you truly say you are strong and you break this trend line, do it again when I retest it to see if you can go to the upside. So if Tesla is strong this week or the market is strong, we might get a reversal here. But this 200 SMA is a key area here that I'm watching for Tesla. I'm looking to see if it can hold here and then it can reverse. So this is just retrace to the scene of the crime. That's what it did here. Okay. All right, guys. Any other questions? Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Make sure you hit the notification button. Make sure you hit the like button. Let me know if this live stream was helpful. Right? Let me know if this live stream was helpful, and let me know if you have any other questions. So yeah, so there are no other questions. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful trading month of September. Those that are in the subscription service, we are going to be trading together as always. And I'm looking forward to trading this month of September. And I'm also looking to do the swing trading as well. Yeah. So the other things that are there that we can cover, but okay, let me see if I can find it. If I'm not able to find it, then we'll wrap up. But it's something I want to draw you guys' attention to. Just as an FYI kind of thing. Let's see. This is XPS. Let's see if I can find. So this here, this is something that I'm watching here, right? This is I'm looking long term. I'm just trying to identify where this bull market is probably going to top off, right? Again, it's got to figure out where the top is going to be, but I think we are getting closer, and it could be anytime soon, right? It could be anytime soon. So if you look at this, I believe we might top off in the market after the interest rate cuts, or maybe we are even there already. So here, look at this. This parallel channel, really, really interesting. This is why I love technical analysis, right? There isn't any confusion, any kind of I feel like this, I feel like that. Those kind of things don't come into play. What does the data show us, right? So here, if you look at this is COVID lows, right? And we got the rally in COVID and we came here. This was the end of the bull market of COVID, right? The COVID bull market in 2021, December 2021. And then what did we do? We sold off. When Fed announced that they were going to start increasing interest rate, because during this period we were at more or less zero interest rates, right? And then the Fed started because the reason why they increased interest rate was inflation was getting out of hand. At first, the Fed was saying that inflation was transitory. It's not something that is going to stay. It's going to be short term and things. And then they realized that we were wrong. So now they had to use the tools that they have in the toolbox, which is increasing interest rates to bring down inflation. So that caused the 2022 bear market. Where did the bear market come to? Bounce here at the bottom of that parallel channel, which here is acting, the bottom part is acting as a support. Then what happened again? We pushed up, like in the bear market, we pushed up to this area, and then we came back down. And then in 2023, this like October 2023, we got a sell off, and then Nvidia lifted the market again, and we went. So this was the AI boom. We pushed the market all the way to what? December 2024 and Trump election, and then Liberation Day. Boom. Where did this come to? It came to the bottom of this trend line. is, is this not magical? Look at this: one hit, two hits, three hits, four hits, right? So now, where are we going now? This is now we are getting very close to the top of this trend line. And what happened the last time this came here? It went down, went down, went down. So I believe that the market is going to top off somewhere here. Maybe after the interest rate cut, we are going to get that big euphoria, and then boom, we just push up and we hit 6,800 or 7,000. Then we are going to top off them. Okay. So yeah, so that's something that I'm watching closely. The next one is the Nasdaq. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see QQQ. Let me see the Nasdaq and a NDX. Yeah, NDX. Perfect. Let me see if I have it. NDX. Let's see if I have it. Perfect. 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 I like this one. And I'm going to do the same thing for Nvidia. You are going to see that they are looking alike, right? So again, as I say, don't shoot the messenger. Just look at what it is and judge it for yourself, right? So here we have what is called the megaphone pattern, right? Megaphone pattern. So if you have like a triangle, if they are not meeting like this, right? It's called like it's like a wedge pattern. So this is called a megaphone. It looks like a megaphone, right? So this is a bearish megaphone pattern. So you have this move, zigzag move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here, once we do this, hit this place, we can get a decline, right? So this could be, we might have topped in the market. Who knows, right? I don't know, right? Nobody knows, right? All we can do is that we can get what is called a blow off top, right? So I'm going to show. So take a screenshot of this, keep this in your mind. Let's go and check out NVIDIA, right? And you tell me what's happening there. And why is NVIDIA looking similar to the one of the chart of the what's it called? Nasdaq, because Nvidia is the stock that has been moving the market. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there you go. Beautiful, right? So here, the same thing, right? The same thing is happening here with Nvidia. But here we have what is called a blow off top. So we got to the top here, we cracked above this resistance level of the megaphone pattern, and we are here, we are coming out, right? So again, you have to be watching this closely, right? Because Nvidia has been the shining light that has held the market all these years and be pushing it up. So that is something that is going to continue pushing the market. And if it cracks, the whole market is going to crack, right? So that's your barometer. So again, this is what I see here. And if the US economy goes through a recession, we can see this play out, and Nvidia is going to come down. Everything we are in what is called an everything bubble, right? Let's check out Bitcoin. Bitcoin. The one for Bitcoin is even scary, right? The one for Bitcoin is even scary. I posted it in the mastermind group. I just said let me go through it here on the YouTube live so that those that are not in our mastermind will see it. So again, this is pure technicals. There's no there's no like emotion this in this. I mean, I'm a believer in Bitcoin, but again, I'm just following the chart. What is chart telling me? So if you look at Bitcoin chart, right? Bitcoin chart, this is the lifetime chart, like over the years. Okay. There's something very interesting happening here with Bitcoin chart. Anytime Bitcoin, see this trend line here. This trend line here is from 2017, right? Anytime this trend line, anytime Bitcoin has rallied to this line, it's sold off. And guess what? All the sell-offs has been in the 80 percentages, like 80%, 84%. So here in 2017, it was if you look at the number here, the decline was 84%. And then in 2021, it did like double top. That was 82%. So now we are back here at this top of the trend line again. So are we going to get another 8%? That means that Bitcoin can come as low as 10,000. As low as 10,000, right? I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm just telling you guys, this is what I've analyzed, this is what I've discovered, right? So again, it's like, something ominous is broke. I don't know what it is. It could be a financial bust, it could be a global financial meltdown, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Real estate. So we're now in a bubble. We are in a real estate bubble. We are in a stock market bubble. We are in a everything crypto bubble, everything bubble, right? So when the bubble bursts, I think the consequences are going to be devastating. So I just want to flag this with you guys so that you guys can watch it. You guys can take note of this so that if it happens, you are not going to be surprised, right? You're not going to be surprised. So that's something that I wanted to flag, but I just forgot about it. I flagged it in our mastermind group, and they have it. So XRP, I talked about going through XRP. So let's go through XRP quickly, and we can wrap up here. Where's XRP? I think I did this in one of the charts. Is it this one? Finance. Okay. So XRP is putting in a megaphone pattern here. XRP. So XRP, I mean, full disclosure, like I own these crypto things, right? I have Bitcoin, and I have been an owner of XRP since 36, right? Or here, even as low as this. Like, I bought this in. I've been buying XRP for a while now, and so this move, obviously, I profited from this move, but based on this year, this looks like it hit the top of the megaphone. So if you've not seen megaphone pattern before, XRP is an example to show you how the megaphone pattern works. So what you're seeing on the Nasdaq and also what you're seeing on Nvidia could play out like this. So XRP could, if the crypto market crashes, is going to come all the way here to this area. Okay. So I just want to flag this with you guys so that you guys can take notes and note what's going on. Obviously, this is a weekly time frame. It's not going to happen in one day. It's going to take a while. But in the crypto market, those kinds of declines are not a big deal because it's volatile, right? It's high risk asset, right? So it's volatile. And then we have Solana. Solana as well. Solana looks like it wants to rally. Solana. That's the last one I'm gonna go through here. Then we call it a day. Solana. Um, this one, I guess. This one. So Solana here. Solana looks like it looks like you put in what looks like a head and shoulders, right? So it's your head, this is your left shoulder, this is your right shoulder. So I don't know. It needs to invalidate this head shoulders by breaking above this area, right? If it breaks above this area, it's going to invalidate it. But if it doesn't and there's a continued pullback, then you're going to come down. This is going to head down. So yeah. So that's about it for the crypto. And let's see Ethereum. I can't go through this without going to Ethereum, right? Ethereum went to 4,900 or something and then collapsed, right? Let's see what we have with Ethereum here. Let's see. Oh, this is a different chart. This is not what I'm looking for. ETH. Um, this one. Let's do this one. This is the index. So Ethereum, if you look at the Ethereum went all the way to all-time highs. So this is the all-time high here on Ethereum. It broke it slightly. It couldn't get to the magic number of 1,000. and now we put in this double top, right? So now it's coming here. We are somewhere here. And I don't know what Ethereum is looking to do. Is that going to bounce here or is going to bounce somewhere here? Right. So we shall see how it plays. But right now, this is the double top and this is on the weekly. And it's also, you can find as well on the daily chart as well, which will take a while to get to the weekly, right? So here, this is what I see here. At least we can pull back. Either we hold here or we pull back to place and bounce. Okay. Alrighty, guys, that's about it. I hope this was insightful. So make sure you take note of those warning signs so that when you see them, you know that you've seen it somewhere. You've seen this movie before. You saw it somewhere, right? Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Make sure you verify to see if you have not subscribed so that you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button and the bell, and like this video if you like what you learned today. Okay, so going once, going twice. Think we're done for the day. Have a good night. Bye bye. Bye for now.